is Commonwealth more effective at affordable housing than a huge developer? Well, we're going to break it down into quantity, speed, and permits. Starting with the first point, quantity. There's no way a big time developer could create 20 units in a matter of months like Commonwealth can. Why is that? Well, you may hear, oh, there's 20 units that a big developer added, but you don't realize there's 100 doors that they had to make just to make 20. Versus Commonwealth, we could just buy an existing building, may be a value add, may need some rehab, but day one, it has available units or soon to be available units. Versus a big developer will have to wait 5 years to create 100 units. Meanwhile, in those 5 years, 500,000 people have moved into Atlanta. So quantity, the superiority of that quantity being available faster is better. Number two, speed. Going along with the previous point, if you have to wait 5-10 years to create 100, 200 units, you're not going to create much more than 40 units. And this is what developers are really going for, really a baseline of 10%, which is 10 units. 20 units is the best case scenario, which means you're just really ineffective. Whereas our strategy is, let's buy up as much of this kind of buildings that have not had maintenance, have deferred maintenance rather, so that we could make them better, make them livable. We are not slumlords. We hate slumlords. In fact, we call out slumlords whenever we see it, because these folks are paying rent and they deserve a reasonable place to stay in so that they could create an amazing home for them and their kids, so that they can move on to the rest of their lives and build wealth another way, be it making a house or buying a house or creating a business. If they don't have the right environment for it, kind of not a useful landlord. Number three, permits. A big developer, again, will take years to get city council, neighborhood groups to approve of what they want to do. So it's likely gigantic and going to require the demolition of a bunch of homes. Whereas the permits we apply for are typically very basic, like, hey, we want to build a wall here. We want to replace this bathroom because it's a hazard to the tenant. So again, a 95% decrease of time and energy and money to allow this to happen. So those are three ways that we are more effective than a big developer: quantity, speed, and permits. Keep that in mind when you're investing, especially if you're a passive investor, because they're gonna pass that cost onto you, thereby reducing your returns. I know a lot of bigger A-class funds like these developers run, they get 7 to 8%, but we give on average double that because we are not having to have such massive timelines of no cash coming in, which brings me into another video I gotta make around low-income tax housing credits, which is a whole rigmarole, and I'll make that a separate video next up so you could understand that and how it all works, or rather is not effectively working. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.